Yeah, no, I mean, football, isn't it? Enjoyable Sunday, obviously, afterwards at half time. I don't think we were too happy, obviously, with the way the game went. But yeah, I mean, to get a result like that when sort of no one expected it, it's always nice, it helps us in the table as well. So yeah, very good Sunday.
How are you? How is life in Italy for you?
No, it's good, thank you. I'm enjoying it out there. Obviously, we've had ups and downs, say like football-wise with results. But as you say, the lifestyle is good, and obviously, it's not a bad place to live in and be around.
Have they worked out your best position yet?
To be fair, at the moment, I've been more of a midfielder. So yeah, I mean that's always sort of been the question, hasn't it? But I'm happy to play anywhere, and at the moment, it seems to be midfield.
Do you feel I mean, I imagine footballers learn wherever they go, but being in a different environment, are you going to be a better player for it, do you think?
I hope so. That was the reason, to go out, to go play games, to go learn and develop as a player. And even in this short space of time, there's still things I've learned already, and there's still a lot more things I'm going to learn. So yeah, that's the aim, that when the season finishes, I'm a better player to go to the next season than I was at the start of this season.
And you come into a camp in good form and in good heart, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean the game on Sunday, that's obviously a little boost of our result. But no matter sort of what happens at your club, when you're here, and this is where your focus is. There's been a lot of camps I've come to where I've not actually been playing. So yeah, it does help that you sort of I've got a bit of a rhythm coming into camp. So yeah, it's a camp we're all looking forward to as well.
You're probably aware, even in camp, even in a bubble sort of thing, that the talk of the town is Gareth Bale and his 100 caps. Tell me about the first time you met him, and just how is he when youngsters come into the camp?
First time I met him was obviously my first camp here. I think it was the pre-training camp before they went off and made sort of history in the Euros in 2016, and he was obviously done great things at Tottenham and then at Real Madrid. So I was watching him week in, week out, and then to come and meet him, you're sort of in awe at first, and then sort of when you get to know him, he's like everyone is, just a normal guy. He helps out with the youngsters. He wants the best for Wales as we all do. So he's here to help, and he's an easy guy to talk to.
So you're not starstruck anymore?
No, I think you always are. He's achieved so much. I think so. You're always going to be, but he's not the guy, so you can't speak to. So I think that eases that as well. Also.
Yes. So you'd always feel comfortable going up to him and asking him about stuff. Yeah,
I mean, he gives that impression to everyone, so that's good.
Whisper it quietly, but you're already up to 30 caps, and I'm a bit of an anorak, okay? So you've got to 30 caps at a younger age than Gareth Bale and Chris Gunter.
I mean, that's probably the only thing I can have over them at the moment, But it's weird to say that I've sort of had 30 caps, but yeah, I've got a very long way to go if I want to sort of reach what they've done.
But it's a great target to aim for, isn't it?
No, of course. I think it's everyone's target. Everyone wants to have the most something. So yeah, it's definitely a target. But we all understand how hard that's going to get to.
Yeah, and getting to the World Cup, that's the immediate priority. How big is this Belarus game, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's massive. It's massive because it's the next game we play, but it's also massive as it's going to help us, try and qualify for the World Cup, whichever path which we go in. But yeah, it's also an exciting game on a Saturday night, so let's all look forward to it.
It was a bit of a roller coaster in Kazan, wasn't it?
Well, I couldn't play in that one, so but yeah, to watch it was a roller coaster. Felt like a fan again, which yeah, definitely I feel all your emotions.
Yeah, well, it sometimes helps to be on the other side. It really does get you, doesn't it?
No, it does, yeah. No, you probably feel the emotions more watching because you you physically can't like, try and do anything about it. But yeah, I mean, the main thing was that they got a positive result, which helps us now.
And last couple from me. You talk about emotion. You're one of the, I think it's 7 Wales players on yellow cards. How much does that go into your thinking with Belgium on Tuesday?
To be honest, this year I've seemed to have picked up a few yellow cards even in Italy, so I'm starting to learn, not to go into games thinking about it, because if you go into a game thinking about a yellow card, then you might not make a tackle, and that tackle might end up leading to a goal. So you just have to play the game as it is. But yeah, I seem to be just getting yellow cards all the time at the moment, so hopefully I don't get one on Saturday.
And I suppose the message to the fans is just be there and be loud, yeah?
No, of course, like they always are. We always appreciate the sport. Where's better to be in Cardiff on a Saturday night than the Cardiff City Stadium in the Red Wall, so hopefully we can see everyone there.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ethan. Ciao.
Perfect. Ciao. Grazie.
Thanks, Rob. And Gary Toombs.
Hi, Ethan.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Good, mate. Just following up with Rob, with obviously sort of the club performances at Venezia. Can I just ask, because I think you were quite honest over the summer with the Euros about how the communication works with Chelsea. How's that been working and continue to work? They, obviously you're their player. How that works? How's that going with you now in Italy?
It's still the same. They're always watching their games, giving you feedback. Someone's even managed to come out to watch your game. So yeah, you still get all the feedback, because at the end of the day, like I said, you're a Chelsea player. Even though my focus this year is on Venice and Venezia. But yeah, everyone wants you to develop and be a better player, so you've always got that help as well.
And you also just mentioned in the previous answer, obviously, the idea is take everything what you can get to be a better player on and off the pitch, use that experience. Is the aim to be at Chelsea from next season onwards, or that one, or would you be looking potentially for another year at another club? How do you think it's going to work, Ethan?
Honestly, I'm not too sure yet. Obviously, I want to be the best player I can be after this loan, so wherever that may take me, but you can't get to whatever that point is without focusing on the present. So my focus is just on doing as well as I can with Venezia, so then see where that takes us in the summer.
On Gareth Bale, 100 caps. How difficult is it not to talk about it within the camp? It's been mentioned before. Obviously, clearly, everyone in the build-up to the game, not just us as media, but people around Cardiff are obviously talking about it. Potentially being Gareth's 100th cap. How difficult is it not to talk about it too much, or maybe have a laugh and a joke with them about 100 caps?
Like you say, it's more of in a laugh and a joke way, sort of just take sort of the pressure off as the game. But also when the game comes around, everyone's focus, even Gareth's focus, will be just to get the 3 points and put us in a better position for the game on Tuesday. But I think we'll probably, obviously we're talking about before, that'll probably be celebrated after the game on Saturday, I think, more so than now.
You're saying celebrating after the game on Saturday. Listen, we got an update the other day that he's been looking good and sharp in training. Is he all okay? Is there a really good chance that he could play some part on Saturday?
I mean, you'll have to ask the manager. I mean, I hope so. I mean, everyone hopes so. But then again, everyone's looking sharp. So we'll have to wait and see what the manager says.
Well dodged there, Ethan. Just coming back onto the bigger picture of the World Cup, because it is in your hands. If you get the result you need against Belarus on Saturday, you know exactly what you need to do against Belgium, and if that goes well, it's a home playoff in March and then the final. The pathway is there to get to Qatar. Have you and the players sat down and talked about that pathway and what it might mean, to make a little bit of history?
Of course we've spoken about at the start of the camp. Like you say, making history, that's what we want to do. We all grew up as kids wanting to play in the World Cup. The easiest way to think about it is between now and the World Cup, every game we play, if we win, then we'll be there. And it's obviously going to be a lot harder than that. But yeah, our focus is on, just to win every game we can to put us in the best position to get to Qatar.
Ethan, mate, thank you very much for your time. Good luck, mate. See you on Saturday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Sports more.
Hey Ethan, how you doing?
Yeah, thanks.
Good man, good man. Just one Gareth Bale question for me. Could you tell us what life's on camp with Wayne and Gareth? Because Wayne seems to really love Gareth. Like we were here, he's been like eulogizing about his big mate. What's it like on camp with the two of them?
They're two big kids. Obviously, they're very professional, but yeah, around camp they're two big kids. They get on well with each other. They are. That's probably the only way to really describe the two big kids.
Two big kids, yeah. Well, you guys obviously get on so well as a whole group, don't you, as well? And obviously, there must have been a lot of upset when David Brooks's diagnosis came in last year. Now, I know he's a mate of yours. Have you guys been in touch since last camp?
I think majority of the people would have sent him a private message probably, but he's got all our hearts with him. We wish him all the best, and everyone's here from him throughout Wales.
Yeah, it must have been a real shock for you guys, and in learning that news.
No, definitely, and it's even like a little bit hard to talk about it now because when it's someone so close, you never want to hear anything like that.
Yeah, good stuff. That's fine for me. Thanks, Ethan. All the best.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Lawrence. Shauna Davids.
Hi, Ethan. Shauna from Scoria. Are you okay?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Just a couple on Venezia. Would you say this is probably the most enjoyable loan that you've had so far in your career?
I mean, on paper you can say that, but no. I mean, when it's off the football pitch, it's different. It's easy to say, we've had a good result recently, so that's going to be in the back of your mind. But every loan sort of had its different challenges and its different, good moments. But at the moment, I'm enjoying it so far. So let's hope that can carry on.
You've been at Leipzig, Sheffield. It's hard to forget that you're still only 21 because it feels like you've been around for years and years. Is going abroad and getting that experience, how much do you think that's helped you both on and off the pitch as well?
Massively, I think. You're learning different cultures. You've got to try and learn different languages. It's a whole new way of life. So I think, like you said, off the pitch, you have to become more of a man very quickly. Then also on the pitch, as the same thing, you learn different styles of play, how different sort of leagues want to play, and I think that just builds overall as a better player. So
how's your Italian coming along? And is the kit as nice as it looks in the pictures? Because I think we're all a bit obsessed with this Venice kit this season.
No, everyone's obsessed. I think when I first signed, I got more messages saying, "Can I have the kit then? Good luck." Which I didn't know how I was meant to take that. But yeah, the kit's as nice as it looks. And we've got a new 4th one out, which again is still even as nice.
Amazing. And then just looking ahead to these next couple of games, last 2 fixtures. In terms of Belarus, how important is it that you guys don't get too complacent? Because there's a bit of a theme that Wales tend to do better against the bigger teams than the smaller nations, if you like.
I think it's massive. I think with this game, no matter who the game would have been against, the aim was to not be complacent. We've we've had a real idea about how we're going to go into this game, and hopefully we can show that by not being complacent, being positive, and at the end of the day we sort of have to win. So that's hopefully the only outcome.
And how refreshing is it? Because apart from the last 2 European campaigns, it's usually with these campaigns we get to halfway and we're out of the game, and the situation's out of our hands. The fact that fate is still in your own hands, how much does that help your mentality as a team? No,
definitely, because when it's in your own hands, that if you get the results you need, then you're going to progress. So yeah, that can make it better, because then no focus is on anyone else, as it shouldn't be anyway, but a little part does. So yeah, now we'll focus on us and so what we can do.
Diolch, Ethan.
Thank you.
Okay, to go a couple more from Alex Water.
Hi, Ethan. Just building on that. It used to be sort of quite rare for British players to move abroad, but was part of your decision inspired by maybe seeing guys like Jadon Sancho, Jude Bellingham go abroad, and they've really kicked on with their careers? Was that something that you looked at when you tried to go to Spain and Germany and Italy?
I mean, it can be, because obviously you've seen how well they've done. But then also everyone's path's different. You might have some players who, you never know, like say the Germany one, I didn't play as much, so that might put me off, you know, say going to Italy this year. But no, I don't really see it as more of a challenge that way. You got to look at it in a positive way, you know, about how you're supposed to develop overall as a player and a person, and this was the right step. But it's also good, you know, as a way of life, you know, that learning different stuff, learn different styles. You know, the passive beats is quite good over there. So, I mean, I've been enjoying that. So that's not bad. But yeah, no, I think it's sort of, even if no one else had done it, I still think I would have done it.
And just lastly, in terms of the off the field stuff, do they set you up with somewhere to live? Are you living on your own? I mean, what's it like in terms of settling in with a squad that you probably never met before?
Yeah, no, I mean, every club that I've sort of been on loan to, they've all helped with that. Whether that's at first you lived in a hotel or you moved into an apartment. Then also like day-to-day things, you know, like setting up a bank or whatnot, they will help with that.
Great, thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Thanks, Alex. And finally, Graham Thomas.
Ethan, hi. You mentioned about going there and learning and developing in Italy. What did you learn the other day when you came up against Frank Ribery and you had the most bizarre sending off I think I've ever seen?
I don't know what I learned. You learn that you can get red cards for everything now, joking, but no, you learn how to sort of deal with situations. You know, I could have prevented that situation, so I never could have got a red card. Or, you know, like you say, playing against a player like that, who, as people say, he might have got older, but he's still, you know, he can still move, he's still sharp and cause a problem. But no, yeah, I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it? Everyone sort of doesn't think it's a red, but at the end of the day, it's a red card, and that's football. You got to get on with it.
He's a guy who's made a career, you know, out of being able to persuade and sway referees. Lots of those around. It's part of the learning process for you, particularly in international football, when you come into it, is to learn how certain players do that. They manipulate referees, and you have to make those allowances.
I'm not sure about that, because I'm obviously not very good at it. I seem to get yellow cards all the time, so maybe that's something I need to learn off these players if that's what they're doing. Right.
I mean, do you feel you are learning in that sense?
I mean, it's a weird one to say that you want to sway the referee. You're hopeful that the referee's, you know, going to be as fair for both teams. You know that sometimes maybe when you go to play in Europe, the atmosphere might be a little bit hostile, and that might sway a referee or not. But at the end of the day, if you focus on doing your job correctly, hopefully the referee doesn't really need to do a lot.
Great, thank you very much, Ethan. Thanks, everyone.
Perfect, guys. Thank you.